Hi there, I'm Scott Lowe with ActualTech Media, and thank you for joining us for this RoadCast video. We're here today at Cohesity headquarters, where I'm joined by Patrick Rogers, who is the Vice President of Marketing. Patrick, thank you for having us here at your offices.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Scott.
So there's a lot of really awesome things happening with Cohesity. Let's start with sort of a look at the storage landscape and what Cohesity's playing in that space right now.
Yeah, great. So the storage landscape's going through some pretty substantial disruption and change. And one of those big changes is the recognition of secondary storage as a separate category in the overall landscape. And so traditionally, many vendors have focused on the primary storage market, building better flash arrays, meeting the needs of production applications. And what we're now seeing is recognition by our clients that actually 70% of their storage capacity is consumed by what we think of secondary workloads. And so it started out being backup, or it might have been DR, and now it's extended into test dev instances and unstructured content and content archives and analytics, data warehousing. So all those workloads are coming together, and people are recognizing that it's pretty siloed, it's inefficient, it's not productive, I'm not getting maximum use of that infrastructure. How can I somehow consolidate and make better productive use of this data?
How do you find people are making a decision between what they define as primary and secondary storage?
Yeah, so secondary is really defined by things that don't have mission critical SLA requirements. Right, so my production storage, I have very strict SLAs. Right, if I relax some of those SLAs for secondary workloads, I can do some tremendous things to improve efficiency, like global deduplication. I can do other things like snapshots and clones for immediate recovery or reuse that data. I can now do indexing of all that data for instant search.
So basically, let primary storage vendors and solutions do the stuff they're really great at, let Cohesity do everything else.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
So you also have a new release, Orion 5.0.
We do.
Tell us about what's in that and how that's going to benefit customers.
Yeah, so Orion's the 5th generation of our software, and there are many components to this announcement, but probably the most important and strategic is really bringing forward the underlying file system that allows us to incorporate and run all these secondary workloads effectively. This underlying file system is called SpanFS, and it spans nodes. It spans both on-premise infrastructure and the cloud. It spans workloads. So we think that's a great way to describe the capabilities of this new file system. And what's unique about it is it provides web scale type performance, right? That's very important that I can continue to scale both capacity as well as ingest and raw network bandwidth as I add additional nodes. That's one characteristic of it. Second is it supports distributed snaps and clones. So now I can make easily copies of the data, both for backup, that's very helpful, as well as for test dev, or if I want to do analytics, very simple to do. It's globally deduplicated, so it's super efficient, right? And then very importantly, it's multi-protocol. So you can access your data via any Ethernet-based protocol. That's really important. So NFS, SMB, S3, people want to talk to their secondary workloads across all these different formats. And so you need to have global consistency to make that possible.
When you talk about the fact that it spans, the SpanFS spans into the cloud, basically because there's a common fabric there, it's a very easy workload migration as well.
Exactly, right? And allows people to incorporate cloud into their overall IT infrastructure, which is not easy for most enterprises to do today.
Well, a lot of that reason for that is because there's a translation that has to happen to be able to move into the native cloud stuff when you're moving it back and forth, but you're solving that problem.
Yeah, the benefit is we're software defined. SpanFS is software and runs equally well on-premise on x86 platforms, or it can run on cloud instances as well. So we support all the major public clouds or any S3 compliant cloud.
And from a customer growth perspective, Cohesity's killing it.
Yeah,
you guys have a lot of great momentum, a lot of great names.
Yeah.
What are tell us a little bit about the customer stories right now that you're hearing.
Yeah, totally. So really there's 4 major industries that are really catching fire for us. And because they're dealing with huge, vast volumes of data, and they need to protect that data, and they need to be compliant, and they need to put that data to productive use of their business. So one of those obviously is financial services, banks and insurance companies. Another is healthcare. So we see it all the way from pharmaceuticals all the way to healthcare providers, hospitals. Right, so huge uptake there. Media and entertainment, because of the type of content that they're storing, massive video or professional content. And then we're also seeing the public sector pick up substantially because they have huge data retention requirements. So all those verticals are very important to us. We now have multiple customers in each vertical that have over a petabyte of storage on Cohesity. And so just to translate what that means, that's over 50 nodes of Cohesity installed and operating in a clustered format. So that's very powerful and just shows the uptake and adoption of this technology and how people are using it to consolidate and simplify their secondary storage.
That's great success, and to match that, in order to support all that, you've actually grown as a company as well.
We have.
For the last time I was here, it was not three-figure people. Now you're approaching 200 people.
Yeah, so no, we're actually over 300
You're
people
over 300.
now.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah, so the company's growing like crazy, and that's really driven by customer uptake. So as we attract more accounts, the rest of the organization builds around that, and we expand our sales teams and all our support infrastructure, our engineering. So it's really exciting to be here at this point in time and really be changing the whole secondary storage landscape. So we view ourselves as disruptive, but we also view ourselves as driving far greater efficiency and productivity for large enterprises.
You guys have been building a great framework to help organizations. The people here are fantastic. I really like working with you guys.
Awesome, that's great to hear.
And I wish you the best in your continued success.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott.
Thank you very much, Patrick. And thank you to our audience for watching this video.